All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Betting by the Numbers, a sports betting YouTube and Discord channel dedicated to taking the decision-making process out of the hands of idiots like me and putting it in the hands of people who win. We're back after a little bit of a confusing day. We had a lot go our way on golf picks that were posted on Pickett. But then when we got to the nighttime, that first game, the Warriors-Kings game, really threw everything off. I don't think many people saw the Kings coming in and, not only winning, but looking very good in the process. And that took out a couple of the legs. We did get a PrizePicks that is making it through to today. We have one pick left to at least get a 5 out of 6, which will double our money, which is always good. And then we have the Parlayplay that was posted on the Pickett that hit a 5 out of 5, which is a 10 times payout, 12 times payout. And that hit, there was one push that kept it from being a full 6 out of 6, but still great night. But lost some picks that felt we were good on, especially the late night game pick we had. We were one assist off and just felt like we could have been a little closer. So let's get back tonight. We have an incredible night of hockey. Only one basketball game, but it should be a fun series. I'm really excited for this Suns-Nuggets series. I think there's going to be a lot of player props in play. You can see the over-under is 220. It's open at that state at that. So there's a expectation of points being scored. The Nuggets are at home, and their opening is 3-point favorite. 67% of the tickets on the away Suns, but 57% of the cash on the Nuggets, with that line holding firm. So I like that line. I will likely, that's going to be a pick I lock in. We're going to go over to the NBA on DraftKings, and we're going to lock in the Denver Nuggets -3 and -150. I think they will look good, pull away at the end, and kind of set a tone for a really good series. But I think the Suns are going to be in this game the whole way. I think it's not a blowout. So, there is our first pick for one. I'm usually if I'm betting favorites and we have to pay the -115 odds, or if we're betting the underdogs. But either way, if we're paying -115 odds, I typically will bet 1150 to win 10 or whatever your unit is, to try to kind of keep the balance of winning the amount that is your unit. So you guys do whatever you want. I'll just say one unit to keep things simple. So we will go over next to, actually, instead of just looking at the odds for baseball, because as I said, look, you can see these numbers are really low on the amount of money that's even being monitored. And obviously this is not an observer of the world's betting. Pregame pulls its data from some casinos, but it does give a good indication that generally checks out with other data points you can find on public betting versus no public betting. So our next, what we will do for baseball, though, is head over to Ballparkpal, which we've looked at a couple times. I just want to explain what I'm looking at here. This is a website that I use daily, just to get a good idea on what the hitting conditions, pitching conditions are going to be like, because it really does affect the outcome and the proposition outcomes in baseball games. So you can see today looks windy, and I think that means sunny and really windy. So you can see in the San Francisco and the Padres game, the chance of a home run is up 60%. The chance of runs up 48%. So I will look at the pregame tab, look and see what the over is. You can see that over is now at 15.5. Goodness gracious. I think that still might not be enough. That is awesome. Yeah, I'll probably be taking, I'm not going to put that as an official pick, but I'm absolutely taking the over in that game because of those field conditions. You can see also the Colorado-Arizona game in Coors Field is going to have an increase in runs of 20% due to wind conditions. And let's see if there's any bad ones. Yeah, we got a couple games to look out for, especially on home run side and run sides. It looks like Comerica Park in Detroit is going to be cold and windy, not good conditions to score a lot of runs. Run scoring is going to be down -24% likely. And you can see Target Field, Kansas City and Minnesota down 15. This is just good to look at. I also like looking for if there's days where singles are going to be a little bit higher, which means maybe the conditions for smashing home runs is going to be lower, which means players come in a little more, all right, we got to hit base hits today and not try to maybe mash for the fences. So it's just some good knowledge. Don't base your picks on all of this, but there's a lot of features on this website that I really like. And so definitely add it into your decision-making process. We are going to, this Curry line is a promotion on PrizePicks. Well, it's not even that promotion, but we aren't going to add that on this lineup. We're going to save that for a lineup. I'm trying to think of some strategy on how best to use that. So let's look for our first pick. Yeah, let's just get into it. No, actually, we're going to go back. We're going to pregame. We're going to look at the hockey because that is the highlight of today. We have 3 games, 3-2, with the away team up 3-2. So you have all teams facing elimination at home today. That is like, other than having 3 game 7s, this is the best possible. Very, very excited. You have Toronto and Tampa Bay. You can see the line opened at -105 for Tampa Bay. It's gone at -109. That is the lowest odds for a favorite today. The Rangers taking on the Devils opened at -120, gone to -121. But again, not a lot of money put on these games yet, so I wouldn't read too much into it. And then Edmonton and LA -175 for the Oilers to finish off the Kings, but that has dropped to -161. Very, very interesting games. Some of these series have had a lot of goals. Toronto, Tampa Bay has, Edmonton, LA has. Even the Rangers and Devils have had their fair share of goals, but interesting to see how they played today. Do they come in tense, tight, really strict defense that tries to avoid any mistakes, or are they going to fly the same way they have and try to just score as many goals as possible? So I think these are 3 awesome games. I'm going to be watching them definitely over the NBA games. So very excited. Hoping the Rangers can finally win a home game and just give us a chance and get to 7s. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're just a neutral of these 3 games, even if you don't watch a lot of hockey, these are games I would recommend. If you have friends that don't watch hockey, show them these games today. I think they're all going to be really good. So yeah, let's move into the prize picks. So we head over to the prop professor. We will be looking for our first picks of the day. Like I said, the shots on goal is an interesting dilemma that we have now because we are looking at games that we think are going to be more tense and tight, and shots are probably going to go lower. So we might be more okay with betting the under on shots on goal. We talked about that yesterday, but can't be too sure. So let's look. Makes advantage ads over is what is being promoted. Yeah, he's so all over the place. I'm just going to stay away from. I don't want to be on the wrong side of it and tell myself what was I thinking. Now, this is a line I would like. James Outman over bases. He's won me a couple. I think I've been on the right side of his. And what I'm looking for, I know a lot of people have frustration maybe with baseball and EV, and I 100% agree. It can be very random. That's why they play 162 games. They need a test of averages, right? So over a season, these players who are really good are just going to start. We have a small sample size. If players start bad, guess what? They're going to start playing really well at the second half of the season, or they might have a fluke and a really bad season. But I'm just saying, baseball is a long-term game. So you have to try to find your spots here and not just blindly bet just every positive EV. Some people might disagree with me. I'm fine with that. But I'm trying to look for somewhat of an advantage, right? I'm not going to throw 9 over bases in every single one of my prize picks selections each day. I'm going to look for 3 or 4 that I feel very comfortable with based on maybe some experience with the pitcher, maybe some difference in how they're hitting, right, versus lefties and righties. There could be a huge difference. Like this, I have no interest in betting this, right? James Outman, he hasn't had a base in over 3 days, but He's going against Jordan Montgomery, who's a lefty. Jordan Montgomery does better against left-handed batters, and James Outman does worse versus left-handed pitchers. It's just a bad matchup. Maybe he gets to the bullpen. The Cardinals' bullpen has not been good this year, but I'm just going to probably stay away from that, and that's okay. Right? The odds are telling me to take it. Maybe I come back to it later if I need it, but it's just not something I'm going to jump to. But we are going to look at our next line. Bruce Brown, under 4 rebounds. The line is 3.5 at all the other sports books, and you can see it's even gone to -101 at Caesars. That's exactly what I like to look for, right? We like to not only look for a line that is a little bit lower, but we're looking for one where the odds of that lower line is going into the minus. It's just telling you to follow along. So he's at 4. He's hit this line several times. Let's see how he's done against Phoenix this year. So he's pushed once, under twice, and then over once. On 3 days rest this year, not really a big difference in the playoffs. He hit it in the last 2 against Minnesota, but I don't know how much I read into that because Phoenix and Minnesota are going to be completely different. The one question is he plays against Phoenix. He seems to be doing okay. I don't know if I love – I'm going to put it in there because I don't think it's a bad pick, but it just gives me some worry because his minutes have been going up. All right, let's put it in there just to have it in there. There we go. It's under. Okay, let's go back to Prop Professor and look for some more. Braden points, under shots on goal. I've been on his over several times. Oh, my goodness. Okay, this is a line we're going to look at. Panarin, under 2.5 shots on goal. You can see -143 at Pinnacle, -140 at FanDuel, -145 at Caesars. All the other sports books might be going down to 2. So we are going to check out how Mr. Panarin's shots on goals have been so far this series, just to get an idea. Yeah, they're reducing every time. I think this is going to be, if there's a low-scoring game, a 1-0, a 2-0, a 2-1 game, this is it. So I think I'm good with putting him in the lineup on shots on goal under. So as I said, I'm not a huge fan of shots on goal under, but it's just different in game 6 and 7. The next one we will look for is I'm actually going to look at this one and Kevin Gausman. This is the Odds Jam Fantasy Scream. A lot of the same concept. I use them both. I think it's smart to use them both. I'm using one in isolation. They have different features. So I advocate for using both. I think it makes more sense. This is for Gausman's strikeouts of 6.5. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I want to see. Now, Seattle is not in the red. I'm starting to make a new. I'm just staying away. I'm just not going anywhere near. Like the Cubs, they're not. I mean, they've been okay, but they just don't strike out. I'm not betting against them because it comes true. Okay, this line's going to go to 7. It's going to go to 7. So let's get it at 6.5. Let's go to baseball. Kevin Gauss. Oh, it already went to 7. I'm going to keep it, but bummer. We're probably going to get rid of it. Man, that's what you get, man. You got to be quick. You got to not have Wi-Fi problems. That would be an issue. Not that I've ever experienced that or anything. I have no idea. Let's see. Come on. There we go. So we got a couple. We looked at James Outman's over bases. Haven't loved that. Let's go back to Prop Professor, see if we have any updates on lines. We're looking for the best, and then we'll look for more. Mika line's not. Is it really going down that far? Let's see. We got Michael A. Taylor over bases. Let's check that one out. That was on Odds Jam as well. Michael A. Taylor over bases. He's faced Brad Keller twice. Wow. Brad Keller's stinking this year. Meanwhile, Michael A. Taylor's not been much better, but he's batting .258. He hasn't hit off Brad Keller before in his 2 appearances. I like this. And what were the conditions for the Minnesota game? See, this is why I just like giving this a good check. See, all the other scoring is going to be down, right? Minus 15% scoring, minus 31% home runs, but plus 2% singles. I think that just implies that balls are, one, not going to go as far, and two, because it's cold, windy, but it also means that players are probably going to be more strategic in how they're hitting. Yeah, I like that pick. So let's add Mr. A. Taylor over bases. Okay. Let's head back to Prop Professor where we're looking for our next line. Devin Booker over points and assists. I already wanted to be, or I am on Devin Booker for his points, rebounds, and assists. I think that line has moved up a point, which is great for me because it means that I'm probably on the right side of it, hopefully. It does mean that I, unfortunately, will not be betting that. So I might be looking for a new angle. It's at 35.5 at PrizePicks, but 36.5 at all the books, minus 110. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm betting this. Okay. NBA, adding this. Devin Booker, points and assists, 35.5. It's going to go up. Let's see what he's done against Denver. Well, not great. I think that's going to change, though. I think he has to play a different role in the playoffs. I think they're going to need a lot out of him. So let's look here. Ooh, Mikey Anderson over 1.5 blocks. Steven Stamkos under shots. See, but that's hard for me. I don't know if I want to fade Steven Stamkos in the playoffs. Okay, under strikeouts. That's a good line. So what we're looking at is Tommy Henry under 3.5 strikeouts, minus 154 at Pinnacle, minus 125 at DraftKings. So we will add Mr. Henry and look at his strikeouts. He had one when he pitched against Kansas City. Colorado does strike out a lot, but I believe this is his first. Okay, so he had some performances last year, but he very rarely has gone over this 3 line. Let's look at these Colorado conditions. I think they were really, it's one of the, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I like that. Yeah. What changed? Oh, man. Okay. We just got to keep adding, man. Got to move quicker. So Tommy Henry under strikeouts. The idea is that also with the conditions that are going to be there, it's less likely. So Bruce Brown's down is at 4, but that was supposed to be at 3.5, right? So we're fine with his still, even if it's a little bit of a push line. It's Gaussman that we are on the fence about. So we at least need one more. So let's head to Odds Jam. This is why I say I think it's smart to be using both. I think that it makes sure that you're not missing any opportunity. I hate when it does that. Kevin Durant over points. Minus 150 at Pinnacle. What's it look like on here? What's the line at the books? Yeah. Really consistent. Let's check out his points. Obviously, his stats are going to be a little skewed by the team change. So you can't read too much into these results. But yeah, that line's going to go up to 28, right? That line's going to, yeah. Okay. I'm cool with that. Let's add, there he is, 27.5 points. Okay. I don't love doing the 7. Let's look for at least another pick, and we'll decide if we keep Bruce Brown as well. I think I like Bruce Brown, but the line was just concerning. Let's see. Were there any more good? And you can see here, even my cursor's on this side of the screen. I'm looking at Pinnacle lines for some consensus. So what I look for is kind of, oh, there's a Pinnacle line that's showing me a good stat. Everything else is following it. But I don't see a lot of love there. So we're going to come back to this props professor. Man, see, like I'm not going to take undershots on going Connor McDavid. Even if that does happen, I'm not going to be on the wrong side of it and saying, what were you doing? So Bouchard, Patrick, Devin Bouchard, and Patrick Kane. Let's go to the shots on goal and check those out. So the reason we're coming over is Evan Bouchard has under 2.5 shots on goal, minus 138, basically across the board, minus 140 at Pinnacle. So let's check out his Bouchard. Let's see. Shots on goal in the last 5. So we didn't have any in the last game. The Kings don't give up a lot. So you think if the defense clamps down 2.5, it's interesting that let's see if there's any trends on the road. A little bit, but not really. It was just these 2 games. Let's check something out. Let's see what the scores of those 2 games were. So game 5 was 6-3, and game 4 was 5-4. But then in the 3-2 game, he misses. In the 4-2 game, he misses. And in the 4-3 game, he misses. 2 games where it's extremely high scoring. I like that line maybe more than the Bruce Brown under rebounds. So we might add that. I think I like that line. So we're going to add Bouchard. And the Kings don't give up a lot. Let me see his history with the Kings this year. So away against the Kings, they played 1-9 and 4-4, and he only had 1 in those games. Yeah, I like this line. Gosh, I forget that it's not on there still. Okay, so I like that. That and Panarin. So there's 5. And then what I think we look at is a PGA pick, because I just have been seeing this well. And what we will be doing is going over to Rick Run Good. Okay. And the reason we are going over to Rick Run Good is this is a wonderful golf site. If you're not a subscriber, you should be. It is great for golf tools. I think it might be my favorite betting tool website. It is legitimately the coolest. You can make your own models for DFS lineups. It's awesome. And it's worth it. So, shout out to Rick Run Good. I absolutely love his videos. And I use his tool. But one thing that I will show is his free tool. I'm not going to show off all the good stuff, but I'm just kidding. But the PrizePicks tool is really helpful just for the betting side of things. If we let it load, it is a lot of data that it loads when it is pulling up. So once we get it functional and going, it definitely kicks up faster. There we go. So you can see a lot of data here. And this is all looking at those PrizePick fantasy lines. So what we can be looking at is when we go to the leaderboard, we can say over the last 40 rounds, who of these guys in the Mexico Open have been leading the field in birdies or better? What are those lines at? And are these different than the ones we've seen on their picks? So we go to birdies or better. We got 5.5 for John Rahm and Tony Finau. John Rahm is averaging 5.19 over his last 40 rounds. Over his last 2, he is averaging 4.6, but his birdies are better, gained is better. But this is a different course. That's why it's nice we can go to golfer profile. And the reason we do that is we can go to John Rahm. Am I crazy? Oh, see, I am dumb for sure. So we can see over the last 40, 5.19. And this does not have the data from this week. So what we will do is go also to the PGA Tour website, and we'll look at the Mexico Open for round. I need this to update to round 3. But I guess I need to see John Rahm's round 1 and 2s. Because I think I like the one of those over 5.5. The reason that, so yesterday we had one pick that had, 1, 2, 3. He had 5 in the front 9. The question is our conditions better? But let's see. John Rahm. Yeah, this was a ridiculous set of holes. So yesterday we had a bet that was for at least 2 bogeys or worse. And this set of holes, eagle, birdie, par, double bogey, bogey, birdie, birdie is just John Rahm golf to the best. But I like Tony in these conditions. Last year, he tore this course up. He's playing some of the best golf I've seen him play in a very long time. He's plus 100 to win. Let's do one good Google search, which is Mexico Open round 3 weather. Let's see. This might have a good answer for us. I just want to make sure we're not going to get destroyed. Same deal for the weekend. Great golf weather. Perfect. All right. Then we're taking Tony. I'm cool with him. I don't want to look at his scores. I don't want to look at the bogeys or better. And the reason the pars or better line, you can see. So you're basically betting on bogeys or worse. I like it, but you are given no room for error. I mean, it's 16.5. You have to have 2. And on this course, it is not a very difficult course compared to a lot of the PGA courses. There are probably 3 holes that these guys will have a chance of likely bogeying. So I like this. So this is our PrizePicks lineup. I think it plays into our strategy. Game 1, you want to set the tone. Game 6, you just want to win. So we have Panarin under 2.5 shots on goal, Booker over 35.5 points and assists, Tommy Henry under 3.5 strikeouts, Kevin Durant over 27.5 points, Evan Bouchard under 2.5 shots on goal, and Tony Finau over 5.5 birdies or better. This is the submission price, and we are going to get this locked in. All right. And now that we have the PrizePicks locked in, since it's Saturday, we have a lot of good games. I kind of hyped up the slate a lot. We're going to head over to the Parlayplay and get a pick locked in there as well. Now, it might have some of the same plays because some of these lines might be consistent together, but not with the sports books. So we're going to look for those where they exist. You can see Evan Bouchard. It's gone to 2 here. So they're actually looking at going back to 2.5, but that's good, right? That means that the line's even lower at Parlayplays. Fine with that. So let's look at the OddsJam fantasy screen. You can see Panarin minus 143 under shots on goal. Probably keep that in the lineup. Interesting. Points, rebound, assists. Now this is a one-way line. 46.5. Now let's see if we see his points, rebounds, and assists. So it's 47.5. Yeah, I like that. So let's get this 46.5 locked in. So the reason we're doing that, 47.5 is the line on all the other sports books, and you can see it's minus 111 at Pinnacle, minus 121 at Caesars. But at Parlayplay, you only have to pay 46.5. Why would you not take advantage of that obvious value? So we're going to go back to the Pick'em screen. We're going to start building. We're going to go to Jokic, points, rebounds, and assists, 45.5, and we will click over. So let's head back to Prop Professor. When we get to Prop Professor, we see, let's look. So Bam over blocks, minus 148 at Caesars and minus 150 at BetMGM. Oh, wait, no, that would be for tomorrow. Let's hold off on throwing a tomorrow pick on there until we look and see if we can't find other ones. We can see the Patrick Kane line has gone from 3 to 2.5. Let's see. Oh, actually, I think no, maybe I'm wrong. But I do like that Panarin line again. I might take it again. Yeah, I'm going to add the Panarin line. I just think it's a very good play. And the odds, the value's still there, right? The sports books are still much, much lower than these guys. So I think this goes to 2, maybe because of steam also from people following these screens. Okay, so let's keep moving. We got Stamkos under. Don't love that. Come on. Why don't they have their any baseball up here? Let's see. There we go. Now this line's even different. 5.5. That's a great little advantage. Tyler Meagle. Let's check out his props. So we're looking at 5 strikeouts. The line's going to be at 5.5. But Atlanta does like to strike out. See, that plays into what we were talking about. I'm okay. So we had 9 one time and 0 the other. Boy, he is all over the place. Let's see. The Mets playing conditions. Are they good, bad? I can't remember. Bad. Bad everything. It's going to be cold and windy. Man, his stats are just not good. But the fact that it's going up to 5.5 makes me feel better. I think that's a back pocket. Let's put him in there, but let's check out this Chris Flexen strikeout. He is not inspiring me. He's hit this line once. Strikeouts for Flexen this year. No, not doing that against Toronto. Sorry. Okay, here's some bases. We got Joey Gallo over bases. Let's see. And these, if you can get some more experience too, they're more likely to have. There you go. 7 plate appearances, bats over 300. Hasn't been as good this year, but he's better against righty. Brad Keller's worse against lefties. He has experience off of him. I like that. So let's add Joey Gallo to the picks over bases. So you remember we have over on Jokic, under on Panarin, over on Gallo. So let's head back. Let's go to the fantasy screen and see if we can't find any other picks we like a little bit more. So it looks like Durant over points and rebounds and over, let's see what Durant's lines. What is his highest on here? Points still. But it's 27-27. There's no discrepancy, it looks like, between the lines. But I like taking the points again. You can see, again, 27.5, but minus 150 at Pinnacle, minus 135 at Caesars. I'm going to follow that. So let's head over to add player. This is my favorite part about Parlayplay. You can search every sport and not have to go between the sports tabs. It is just such a time saver. And it also has better payouts. So I love it. And I feel like I've done better on it. The only thing that stinks about it is it's not tracked on Pickett yet. So once that gets added, it will be probably better than PrizePicks, except for PrizePicks does have their fun little gimmick plays that usually lose, but are fun. So we can see Mika Zibanejad is going from 3 to 2.5. We looked at his line earlier, though. I remember it's all over the place. I didn't want to be on the wrong side of it. Let's see. We're looking for just a couple. Oh, we're going to go back to the fantasy screen because that's where we were finding a couple more. Matt Chapman under bases. That's interesting. I want to see 1.5. Ooh, he has a lot of experience against Flexen, though. I'm not doing that. Sorry. Trevor Moore over shots on goal at 2.5. Minus 135 at Pinnacle. I like that. Somebody will have to shoot on goal, I would think. I would think the game's not going to end with like 10 shots. So somebody's going to have to do it. So it's not a bad idea to take the over on some people. 2.5. Oof. But they are at home. Let's see what the last 10 at home look like. That's better. When he plays Edmonton at home, he certainly does better. All right. I like it. Nope, wrong one. Trevor Moore over shots on goal. So that gets us to 5. We need one more just to finish her off. I like the 6 pick. Let's see. Anything on this one? I'm looking for a line discrepancy on this baseball stuff down here. Chris Paul underpay. Let's see. Colton Wong over bases, minus 132. Go back to MLB. Man, I really hope I don't lose any of these lines. I'm probably going to, and I'm going to be bummed. That's the worst part about Parlayplay. I'll say that. Other than being not on Pickett, so I can't track it, and it's my most profitable, so of course my Pickett looks down. Man, you have stunk this year, Colton Wong. Gaussman does do worse against lefties. You have 1 plate appearance, 4 plate appearances, 4 singles. You are certainly due. Seattle playing conditions. It's in Zors. It's in. If I lose on that, though, I'll be sick. Like, if that's the one that keeps me from getting a 6 out of 6, I would be in a bad mood. Ooh, Mitch Marner or Nylander shots on goal, but Nylander's under. So, we got to go to NHL. Mitch Marner, shots on goal. Last 5, he's hit this line several times. The last 30, it's looked good. What about when he is on the road? Not as good. But minus 132 at Pinnacle is not bad odds. Let's see. Anything else? That might be the best pick, but I'm just not going to go against Connor McDavid. Sorry. You just don't get rich doing it. Panarin. You know what? We're not going to force it. We're just going to lock this in. I like this 5 a lot, so let's just lock this in. So if you do an insured 5, it's a 12 times payout or times 2.5. No, I like the 6 pick, though. It's just such good value at Parlayplay. It gets you the best chance of a value. Vlad Guerrero Jr. over bases. That's someone I'm cool with taking over bases on. MLB, Toronto, they're indoors. GUE. Oh, it's on strikeouts. A lot of tabs. Total bases, 1.5. Yep. Okay, there's your pick. Okay, so the reason we're doing it, 9 plate appearances, 3 singles, a double. He is hitting 307 against righties, and Chris Flexen's giving up 357. Yeah, I like that. So there's your 5th pick. So add Vlad Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 total bases. We go to that, we add it, and we look at our slate. So this is our parlay play. Nikola Jokic over 46.5. Panarin for the Rangers under 2.5 shots on goal. Joey Gallo over half a base. Kevin Durant over 27.5 points. Trevor Moore of the Kings over 2.5 shots on goal. And Vlad Guerrero Jr. of the Blue Jays over 1.5 total bases. On parlay play, an insured 6 out of 6 would pay out 25 times. So a $25 bet would win $620, and then a 2.5 times payout, which is the best part, because if you get 5 out of 6 on PrizePicks, it's only 2. So you actually not only double, you get more, 62.5. So that's going to be our picks we lock in. We have both PrizePicks and Parlay Play. We have DraftKings picks. We have everything today. So follow along. We will have more posted on the Picket. We have a great Saturday of sports. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit longer, but I try to bring some education to this. So let's hope the strategies pay off and we win some money today. So thanks again.